So good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. We are going to talk about Dele Alli, one of the biggest talents English football has ever seen. And it's kind of gone to waste, isn't it? We're now going to find out why, because he has done an interview with Gary Neville. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into all the talking points of that and my genuine thoughts and feelings on it. As you know, I say it as it is. So there will be some things that people are like, oh, you're so harsh. Well, that's just how it is. But make sure you are smashing the like button up. That would be great. Make sure you are subscribed. We're very, very close to 18K. It feels like I've been stuck on 17K forever. So yeah, that would be great if we could get up to 18K sometime today. 173 subs away. So do get that flying up. Make sure you get your comments and super chats in down below as well. Also, I will have a video out on the the first channel, a little bit later on after you've watched this as well. But first thing I want to say about this interview, it's to do with mental health and, you know, his background and his upbringing, which is crazy. I can't lie. But they're talking about the mental health side of things and how he's been struggling. He's been into rehab to get his mindset back on track and let out some of the demons in him and stuff like that. So Sky Sports thought it'd be an amazing idea after doing all of this to sponsor the video with Sky Bet. Well done, Sky Sports, you absolute muppets. Yeah, absolute muppets. The more I see Sky Sports, the more I just think, why does anyone pay for it? Like, honestly, why does anyone pay for that? It is actually amazing how much money they rip people off for. And then they sit there advocating mental health, and then Sky Bet is sponsoring the video. Make it make sense. Anyway, that's enough about ranting about that. This guy, this guy grew up in the area that I lived. I don't know the family that adopted him. I know of them. I know the area they live in. And from all accounts and by all accounts, I know people that know this guy. Yeah, I know him indirectly. I don't know him personally. I've met him a couple of times. Always come across as a jumped up prick, if I'm being honest. But it is what it is. Obviously, that was a different period of his life, etc., etc. But I know people that know him. And by all accounts, the family that adopted him, unbelievable. Unbelievable. They've properly got him on the straight and narrow, got him into MK Dons, yeah, taking him to training. He was smashing it at MK Dons. He then got the move to Tottenham. Again, he come across as an idiot that night. Yeah, VIP in the club, went in McDonald's, shutting McDonald's down, paying for everyone's food and all of this, which is great, but absolutely trolleyed. Gets to Tottenham and you're like, wow, there is a proper baller here. Proper baller here. And then he starts playing for England, scores a screamer. I think it was Germany. Scored an absolute mad goal. You're thinking, wow, this guy is super talented. Like, this guy could do it all. Box to box, left foot, right foot, score screamers, score tap-ins, win headers, flicks, tricks, skills. I'm thinking, this guy's destined for greatness. This is one of the best English talents we have ever seen. But then what went wrong? He kept signing new contracts, first and foremost. It was almost like him and Kane were signing a new contract every month. Like, it was insane. It was actually mad. And then, for me, my opinion on it, it was almost like he believed his own hype. It was almost like he believed his own hype. You'd see him ragging his car around MK, like, just acting like a bit of a jerk. I can't lie, a bit of an idiot. Like, and that's how he's always come across to me. Just an absolute div, right? That's very talented, but believed his own hype. So now, Ealing leaves there, goes to Everton, goes to Turkey, comes back, and now he does this interview. And we're like, what's happened to this guy's career, man? And listen, it's not nice when people are having demons and stuff like that. It's not nice when you've been molested as a child. He said that when he was 6, that happened. At 7, he started smoking. At 8, he was dealing drugs. It's like, wow, this is mad. You're dealing drugs at 8 years old. Like, that is insane. Getting hung off a bridge at 11. And then he gets adopted at 12. And that 3-4 year period is when he was getting into the football properly. He was at the Dons. He was in the first team. Yeah, he was making his way. Then Tottenham come in. Liverpool come in for him. I think he got shown around Anfield and then ended up going to Tottenham. Probably a decision he regrets, albeit he did play extremely well for Tottenham. They never won anything. He could have ended up at Liverpool, I think it was Brendan Rodgers at the time, and it could have been a totally different career path. But he openly admits in this video that he was out partying all the time, having house parties all the time, drinking excessively, and taking sleeping tablets. And what I found disturbing about this, not so much the drinking. Listen, I like a drink. I'm having a drink now. Yeah, I like a drink. But I'm not a professional footballer. I'm not having to get up and go jogging around the football pitch. I'm not having to put a performance in every week. I'm not getting paid hundreds of grand a week or month to go and kick a football around for other people's entertainment. Yeah, and I understand there's a pressure that comes with that. I totally get that, which is why we see these stories come out quite often. I went to a dark place. I've gotten drugs. I've gotten drink, etc., etc. We've seen it loads and loads of times, especially at my club, Arsenal. Tony Adams, Paul Merson, like, it's mad. Yeah, I could name a few others, but I'll zip it because that's not been officially put out there. But it is what it is. But I do understand that players have this pressure to constantly perform. And then they get all the leeches that hang around them. And he's got loads. Yeah, he's got loads. Maybe he's not anymore, but at the time he had loads of dickheads hanging around with him. Yeah, and just out doing stupidness. Now, what I found disturbing about the whole thing, not so much the drink, because like I say, I like a drink. But if you're a professional footballer, in my opinion, you shouldn't drink unless it's pre-season or before pre-season. You're in the off-season. You finish the season, go on holiday, like Jack Grealish, go and get trolleyed every day. Yeah, if that's your thing, go and get trolleyed every day. Cheers, guys. What I found more disturbing was the sleeping tablets. And it's a standard procedure within football clubs to give players sleeping tablet. Why? That's weird, man. Like, that for me blew my mind. Yeah. I'm like, the club are giving you sleeping tablets. For what? They're giving you a tablet so you can go sleep. Can't you go sleep anyway? Why can't you go sleep? Do you have insomnia? Are you out partying until stupid o'clock and you're high as a kite? And then he gets addicted to these sleeping tablets. He's obviously got the tablets from the club doctor. He now knows the name of the tablet. He now goes and finds them on the black market. Yeah, or a chemist or whatever. Wherever he was finding them, he was getting them. And he was popping them in like Smarties. This explains a lot to me. This explains why you see him on All or Nothing, just looking like a smug dickhead. Yeah, just sitting there. Jose called him lazy. He says in this interview that a week later, Jose apologized for that after seeing him on the training pitch. But why are the clubs giving out sleeping tablets to footballers? That is mad. That is actually, and Gary Neville's going, yeah, that's standard procedure. I'm like, what? Is there that many footballers that can't sleep? That makes no sense to me. So now he's drinking too much. He's popping sleeping tablets. He's partying too much. He's doing stupidness left, right, and centre with idiots. Now add in the trauma of being 6 years old and getting touched. Yeah. Then add in the drugs, not speaking to your parents. Then your parents come out when you start playing for England, start accusing your adopted family of X, Y, Z, trying to make a few pound notes out of the Sun newspaper and all of that. And it must drive you nuts. I get it. I totally get it. I get it. So he goes into rehab. He comes out and he's sitting doing this interview saying that he wants to come back bigger and better and blah, blah, blah. Well, let me just tell you something right now. He was one of the most talented English footballers we're ever going to see. Yeah, literally one of the most talented I've ever seen. And I'm an old man. I'm 41. There's no way in a million years, as much as it'd be a great story, he ain't ever getting back to that level or above. Kind of sad, because people like that do piss me off, because you've got all that talent and you waste it. It's like Mason Greenwood getting into stupidness. All the talent in the world, you're getting into stupidness. Why? Because you've been misguided. You've got demons from the past. You don't want to come out and tell your story in fear of being mocked. I totally get why people bottle stuff up. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I understand why gay footballers necessarily hide it. They don't want to come out and be ridiculed or have people judge them in a different way. So they bottle it. And then you're playing with that pressure of bottling stuff. Then you're popping tablets. Then you're drinking. Then you're partying. You're taking your eye off the game. Your body's not as good as it was. And now all of a sudden you're getting dropped. Now all of a sudden you're getting moved out of the football club. Go to that club. Now you're going to Turkey. Now you're going from Turkey, sitting in the stands, getting told you ain't playing for us ever again. Now you're back at Everton injured. Yeah, it is one mad rise to fame and fall from grace. Yeah, and it's sad. It is sad. Listen, it's tragic what's happened to that kid from a young age. Yeah, absolutely insane. Yeah, I don't wish that upon anybody, man. Like 6 years old, you're getting that happen to you. 7 years old, you start smoking. You got a key to your house at 7. You come in when you want. Yeah, like that makes my blood boil, because I've got a daughter who's 14 this year. Yeah, and she's only just got the key. She's only had the key a year, like a year and a half. She won't get no key at 7. Yeah, and I know it's a different generation, different era and that. Yeah, but 8 years old, you're selling drugs. And then you finally get a bit of stability in your life. You make it to Tottenham. You get big wages. You get adulation. You're getting all the star status. You're playing great football. You're doing the business. You're scoring goals. You're creating goals. You're one of the best players in the league at the time. So what happened from there? Like, it's mad. It is actually mad, because as sad as his story is, yeah, he obviously has a lot of issues, yeah. But a lot of the issues have been brought on by himself as well, like the off-field stuff. Yeah, obviously childhood, that's mad what's happened to him. But you've got to look at this and say, do you know what? If you really wanted it, mate, if you really wanted it, yeah, you could have been playing in World Cups. You could have been playing in the Euros. You could have been playing for Man United, for Liverpool, for Man City. If you really wanted it, Arsenal, you could have played. Listen, he played for Tottenham, right? But they win nothing. He could have genuinely gone to the very, very top. Yeah, and he's only got himself to blame for that. And I think that reality has kicked in with this lad. Yeah, that you've gone to Turkey. It's not happened in Turkey. It's not happened in Turkey, mate. Yeah, it's not like he's gone there to end his career. He's gone there when he should be in his peak prime years of a footballer. And he's gone there and done nothing. Sat in the stands. Yeah, they I think the owner or the club CEO or whatever it was come out and said he'll never play for us. Yeah, he can sit in the stands and he can F off back to Everton. Yeah, we don't want him here. Yeah, and that is mad. And I think that was probably a reality check for him, because you've gone from having the status up here, being dubbed one of the best players of a generation and this and that, so now you're right down here in the space of, what, 4 years? Just like that. I think he's only 26, isn't he? It is actually a madness. But again, this is what happens when you give too much too quick. Yeah, these football clubs, they do it all the time. We've seen many, many footballers in Dele Alli's position that have come through academies or come in and been brought for a little fee, and they're going to bang and they're going to blow up and they're going to be great. Who was the lad at Man City? I can't remember his name. Michael something. Can't remember his name. Michael saying. Yeah, and he went from being a great prospect to being overweight and sat in McDonald's eating a Big Mac, just like that. Yeah, and the problem is when you give too much to a young player without checking on their mental state, without checking on their background, without checking on that. Maybe these clubs were doing that. And I understand they want to protect their asset, and the player is an asset. But was there any help for him? Was anyone sitting him down saying, look, we can sit down with somebody, we can put you into rehab, we can get rehab at the training ground, we can do this, that, and the other for you. Dele, we don't really want you doing this and this. Where's the guidance? Where's the help? Yeah, and these football clubs have a duty of care to their players. Number one, because they are playing for their football club. They are a face of that football club. And number two, yeah, just the moral side of it. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't suffer mentally with anything. Yeah, I wake up happy every single day. Some days I'm less happy than the day before. Some days I'm more happy than the day before. Some days I'm the same. But every day I wake up and I'm happy. I'm not bottling anything. I'm not hiding anything. He said that he was fronting a lot of the times. He was walking around with a smile and it was to bottle stuff up. Whilst I get all of that, what was the point where it got you to go, yo, actually, I have to make a change now? Because it wasn't when you signed for Tottenham and you're getting paid $100 a week and you're playing for England and you're one of the best players in the league. It wasn't when you went to Everton. Was it the Turkey move? Because when everyone's, oh, it's Dele, everyone's giving you adulation, praise, and this and that. Then all of a sudden, the stories are coming out. Dele's out partying all the time. Dele's out this. And I know a lot of the journalists do write a lot of crap. Yeah, I'd say maybe 90% of what they write is BS. But there is some truth in what he was doing. Like I said, I lived in the area where he grew up. Yeah, I know a lot of people that know him. I know a lot of people that have seen him out. I've seen him out. Like, it's mad. Listen, as a professional footballer, you have a duty of care to yourself and your body, and you have a duty of care to, as a footballer, perform at the best you can. Like, when people listen, there's a lot of footballers out there that have done a lot of stupid crap. Yeah, Ryan Giggs being an example. The one thing I'll say about Ryan Giggs, though, yeah, that guy played for so long because he knew, I want to be the best. I want to be the guy that's got the most trophies at this club. I want to be the guy with the most league titles, etc. I want to win. He had that drive, and I think he has got the most trophies out of anyone in that era. Yeah, and when you see other players that go on and have a Modric, for example, you don't see Modric out clubbing. You didn't see Giggsy out clubbing. You didn't see Giggsy ragging around 150 grand motor. Yeah, I didn't see Giggsy getting his house robbed and turning up in a Rolls Royce. Some of the shit this guy has done is insane. Yeah, and it's all like a flex. And, like, look at me. But when you actually deep it, it does come from these traumas. I understand that. But why did it take you so long to come out with that? That's what I don't understand. You could have done it when you was at your peak. Yeah, when you was at the peak. Listen, it's great that he's come out and said it. But I think the timing is more like, and this is just my opinion on it. Yeah, a lot of you might disagree. I think the timing of it is because he knows this is last chance saloon now. Yeah, you either make it now or you're dusted in football forever. Yeah, whereas in my opinion, he should have done this. And I know it takes courage and bravery and all this stuff. Yeah, and maybe you're just putting it to the back of your head because you've got another game next week. Excuse me, another game next week, another game. I get all of that. But I feel he should have done this earlier. But it's nice that he's done it. It's good that he's done it. It'll save a few people, that's for sure. It'll give a few people some courage to come out and do the same, not just in football, but in life. Yeah, not just youngsters, but adults as well. But it's just a what if. What if, Dele? Yeah, what if? What if you had actually put your nut down, yeah, and just carried on being the top footballer we all know you could have been? Yeah, people like that do wind me up. They do agitate me. You've got all that talent, and we're never going to see it. Yeah, and it's like Mason Greenwood. You get involved in stupidness. Yeah, you get involved in dramas, get accused of stuff, then it finds out. But now by that time, your career's in the bin or half in the bin. And it's mad. It is actually mad. But listen, big up to him. He's got courage to come out and say what he said. Let me know what you think. Leave all your thoughts and comments down below. Yeah, big season coming up for him, because whether he's at Everton or not, and listen, Sean Dyche will soon sort him out, that's for sure. Yeah, and funny enough, I've met Sean Dyche. I've actually been to a barbecue with Sean Dyche, not just me and him turned up there. He's actually a nice guy, and if anyone can sort Dele Alli out, he's definitely it. Whether he thinks he can put him in his team, whether he thinks he can resurrect his career or not, remains to be seen. But the one thing I will say, he'll never get back to being that guy again. Yeah, he'll never get back to being that good. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will. Yeah, but it's a shame. It's a shame when you see somebody that talented and they don't utilize their talents. Yeah, for me, I get triggered by that. But it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts, feelings down below. Get your comments and super chats in. Like the video. Share the content around. And let me know. Will he be playing for Everton? How good do you think he is? Is this just a sob story because he's on his knees and ain't gonna be doing it anymore in football? And like, it's almost like, well, you know, I need to get out there and do this, or do actually believe and have some sort of empathy for him. Because listen, I feel mad sorry for his upbringing. That's crazy, man. You don't wish that upon anyone. Yeah, that first 10, 11 years of his life was a mess. Yeah, and big up to the family that adopted him as well. Yeah, big up to them, because they did put him on the straight and narrow. But then ultimately, when you become an adult and you're getting paid 100 odd grand a week and you're flying around in Ferraris and Lambos and Rolls Royces and all of that, and you're partying, you've got all the girls on your case, yeah, you're flying to Dubai and back, like, it is enough to make people go nuts, I can't lie. And that's why you have to have good people around you outside of the family circle. Yeah, you have to have good friends around you. And the problem is, he's got a lot of hangers on. That's it. It's as simple as that. And they all say, oh, yeah, Dele, you're the man, Dele. I'll pay for my flight, Dele. I'll do this, Dele. Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of people can't handle that. Yeah. And then they go off the rails to cover up the problems. Yeah. But then they spiral out of control. And that's what's happened with this guy, man. It's sad. It is sad. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. I will be back again tomorrow. If you haven't seen the video, it's on the overlap on Sky Sports, so go and check that out. And yeah, we're out of here, people. Have a blessed day. Adios, amigos. Ciao.